The opposite, I appreciate that.
So will you be my friend? Because Kenzi seems like such a cool friend.
I know. I want her to be my friend too. I know. It's a weird mind game. I'm like, be my friend. No, wait, you're me and I'm you. No, that doesn't work. Yes.
What is it about her that makes her so kind of cool?
I think that she's so multifaceted. She's such a chameleon. She's never boring. She's always enjoying life. And I feel like, me personally, I love being around people who enjoy life, who live every day like it's their last. That energy just, wakes you up and makes you feel alive. And she's had a really rough upbringing, but now she's in this place with her family. This is the Lost Girl world is her home, and everyone in it is her family. So it's a real, even through the hard times and the life and death situations, that love is there.
Is it hard to be that on all the time? Like, wouldn't you drive people crazy if you were that kind of like caffeinated?
Probably. But what I like about her is that caffeinated term, which I've heard used quite a bit when describing Kenzi. It comes from, again, just an inner love of life and being loyal and being a real friend and just being a person with a big heart, you know what I mean? So the love emits, and maybe that's the
just sit down, even though I guess you're in trouble sometimes.
All the time. Well, thank goodness, because then we wouldn't have a show if she didn't get in trouble.
Kenzi going to change in the next season? What's going to happen to her? Personality-wise.
Personality-wise? It's a very interesting question, because in season 4, Kenzi's really on her own journey. I think really for the first time, she, because Bo is gone at the beginning. Bo is missing, so she really has to stand her ground and learn how to survive all over again. She used to live on the streets, and she's a survivor, but this is like surviving in a completely different world. So I think it hardens her a bit, but not in a negative way. I just think, she's 1 year older, wiser. I'm 1 year older, wiser. We're all growing. The show is growing. Our characters are growing. So it's just a natural way to go, I think. But, her spunk and her life and energy.
You don't want her to change too much.
Yeah, no. You'll see the same person. Yeah, just, with more life experience and wisdom. Yeah.
The show keeps gaining in popularity. Is that surprising, really exciting?
It's always surprising and really exciting. You never know. I mean, you really never know. I still talk about, the day when we got to set, when we were filming the first episode, and we just thought, this is a really cool concept, and we hope that people enjoy it and enjoy these characters. And all these years later, we are here, and we're here at Comic-Con, and we're doing the show because of our fans. So if they're happy and tuning in, then hell, we're happy, and we just want to make a great show, entertain people, and just keep everyone excited.
Do you have any idea what's going to happen when Bo comes back?
Yeah.
Well, tell us.
I can tell you. It's so hard to talk about this new season that we're right in the middle of filming because so many cool things happen, and when we come here, I just want to tell you guys because it's always out of the box and unexpected, but unfortunately I can't say anything. But with Bo being gone, it's a completely different dynamic when we open season 4. Chris and I were on set, and we would just look at each other and go, this kind of feels like a completely different show for a minute. Like, this is weird. But then when we kind of depart from the way things always used to be and then come back into it, I think it's just a nice, refresher. When you're with something too much, you don't have the chance to miss it. So I feel like we have a nice little taste of something different when season 4 starts.
Does the essence of the primary star affect the chemistry in the show, and does it make you guys mind your P's and Q's, because that's the writer's way of saying, hey, we can do this show without the main star.
That's an interesting question. It does not change the chemistry. It changes the dynamic of the show. It changes the feel of the show. And it was really crazy to not have Bo there for the first little bit. You always kind of think she's going to pop around the corner, because what are we doing here and going on all these adventures without Bo? So it was definitely a different dynamic. But she comes back with, full force when she does, and we just pick up right where we left off.
So during those episodes, were you able to put in some of your ideas in production, since it was primarily just without Bo being there? I mean, now that at the beginning, it was kind of like the writers and the producer, main producer, they were kind of leading the show. Have you been able to open that more and take the lead on the show?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Meaning, like, are you able to experiment more? Are you able to put in your ideas of your character and what you want the person to see?
Yes.
Basically producing yourself.
Producing yourself. I personally have been very lucky in season 4 because Jay Firestone, our producer and creator, has been kind enough to listen to my wants and needs of what I would like Kenzi to experience, where I would like her to go, and even use some things that I love in my own life or things that maybe I'm good at in my own life to incorporate into the show. Oh, I wish I could tell you, but no. There's so many big surprises, especially in the first episode back. We do some really crazy, kooky things, but season 4 for me has been exciting because the writers and Jay have been very open to to my heart and what I feel Kenzi should have and deserves and needs to experience.
Now, does Kenzi have a new protector? Because
that's the thing.
Bo
exactly.
was her protector
She
in the
doesn't. And that's the story. That's the theme of season 4 for her. She doesn't, and she has to learn how to survive all over again. And at the end of season 3, we'll leave off with the Fae making an announcement that claimed humans are basically terrorists. So Kenzi's living in this world now where everyone wants to kill her, and there's no Bo to protect her. So what is she going to do? So that's where we start off season 4.
And how much fun do you have with the Russian?
character.
I have always seemed like they're just kind of crazy, but
yeah. No, we definitely have a lot of fun on the show. For me, when I have to speak Russian, because I don't do it all the time, especially not on camera, I really have to turn on a switch, and it just speaking a different language all of a sudden. It's like I feel like a completely different person in that one moment. But I always enjoy it, and it's nice to bring in a different flair of her of her background and where she comes from, and it's nice to be reminded that, oh my God, this girl is like fluent, and oh my God, who's her family, and where does she come from, and how does she know Russian, and who taught her? And so it raises all these questions that I think just make her a fuller, more complex character.
Has it given you a crazy Russian fan base?
Yeah, no, they've been so supportive of me, and I get tweets all the time in Russian, and I can read. I'm a little slow, so it takes me like 10 minutes to read one tweet, but it's been, yeah, they've been nothing but supportive, and it's great that people from all the way across the world are watching Lost Girl and enjoying it, in different languages, so it's always very fun.
So you are doing a lot more action. I've noticed you do a lot more fighting, falling, everything. What do you do to be able to do that? Is there a workout? Do you train with someone?
I'm lucky that I have a dance background, so I love to be physical. I love doing stunt work. I'm always telling them, let me do my own stunts, let me do this, let me jump, let me sword fight. Those big guys over there, yeah, they can, wrestle me to the ground, that's fine, which sometimes gets me in trouble. I have a tiny bit of a rib injury right now that I've been dealing with, which, in the fun corsets I get to wear, it's been a little tough, but that's okay. Sorry, does that answer your question? I love that stuff, and you see Kenzi do other things besides fighting in season 4, but still a lot of really physical stuff. So,
what is your favorite thing to do in the show? Is it the action aspect? Is it the drama? Is it comedy?
I think it's a mix of everything. I think I would get really bored if it was just the same thing over and over again. What I enjoy about Kenzi is in the flip of a switch, she goes from comedic to dramatic, if the moment calls for it. So that's always a challenge, and I endlessly say that I enjoy a challenge, and I'm not creatively satisfied unless something is really hard and I know that I have to accomplish it. So I think that's my favorite part, just never being bored and always getting to explore different emotions.
What's been the craziest thing that happened to you, both on set and off set?
Oh goodness. The craziest thing that I experienced, which was, I think, hands down the best experience for me of all the seasons, happens in the first episode of season 4. So I can't tell you about it, unfortunately. but it involved being physical and doing some things that we thought would be impossible. So it was a great feat to be able to accomplish that. Offset, I'm not offset very often when we film. So I'm not sure about that, but I will think on that and get back to you.
Okay. Do you ever get Kenzi's costumes and do you really want me to wear that? Or do you just love the different looks that she gets?
Yeah, it's always a creative process. I've never been like, whoa, that's pushing it. With Kenzi, you can't really, there's no rules, there's no box we have to stick in. We can really push the envelope. And in season 4, we bring in a few new pieces. We just try to up the ante, and she gets a little glamorous, I find, as we go on. So we're bringing back a little street in season 4 and keeping the glamour, and it's always fun and creative.
Is your love interest again?
Well, season 4 is very interesting in the love department for Kenzi. There's a lot of unexpected kisses, and unexpected blossoming love. No relationship quite like Kenzi and Nate's. That was a special one, which I miss all the time, because it was nice to play, in love and happy. Yeah, so won't see quite that, but you will not be disappointed. Yeah, I know Kenzi deserves a little love. Everyone gets love on the show. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.